So I decided that I had to pick a deadline. I was a very like action person my whole life. I don't know where it came from. Like I always wonder nature versus nurture. And like, I wish I could, I'm different than my sisters. I'm a lot different from them, which makes me think some of it is nature. I think some people are born to be entrepreneurs, and I don't think everyone's supposed to be an entrepreneur. And I think that's like a myth of this industry that a lot of people push. Like everyone should have a business. I don't really believe that. Like some people really thrive. Like my good friend, I always use this example. She's the most caring person ever, and she like thrives as a nurse. Like that is like the best job for her. She loves it. She's so good at it. It's like she was born to be that. So it's very interesting. But somewhere within me, I always had like a drive to action. Like if I wanted something, I would change it in my life. I would always go for the things I wanted, even in relationships, which I think is really interesting for a young female, because in the generation I was raised in, like it was taught that, you know, women never say I love you first or ask the guy out first or any of these things. Like I always broke every rule. My friends would be absolutely mortified. And it's ironic that out of all my friends, I'm the one that's getting married first because I broke all the rules and went for the things I wanted. And the same is true in business. And it's just funny to me how it's all related. So I decided that I was going to create a deadline and just pick an idea on the day I moved back into college, which would give me like a full school year to actually pursue the idea. And my thought at that time was like, I'll grow the business to the point where it's making $40K a year by the end of the year. So then when everyone says, you know, where are you working? I'll be like, well, my business is my job. And I would actually have like proof so that I wouldn't have all these like critics and things. So that was what I thought would happen, which didn't exactly happen, but I did pick an idea. So, August 27th, I moved into college. Everyone, my whole family came with me. You know, we unpacked, we went out to lunch. And then when they left, I opened the book and I circled an idea. And I actually took the step to go on some random website I found on Google and like form an LLC that day. So it was like official. And the idea at the time was to create a plate that helped people eat balanced meals. So the backstory on this is struggled with an eating disorder in college, binge eating disorder, to keep it in like one sentence. There was like a very strong culture, especially at a competitive school, especially for women. So like not eat, extremely diet, really unhealthy relationship with food. And I just saw it and like watched it happening. I never had any relationship issues with my body, never had any body image issues in high school, anything like that. Never even thought about my weight, was naturally thin growing up, would never think that I would be someone to like have an eating disorder or have an unhealthy relationship with my body. But I just took it in. I absorbed it. It was going on around me all the time. Conversations in the dining hall were always about like the calories in something or the salad or, you know, that we can't eat the chicken fingers because it's going to make us fat. And I just listened to what everyone was doing. So what would happen is I would be like so hungry that I would like binge eat. And I didn't even realize that this was an unhealthy pattern. It was like the yo-yo diet, like basically starve yourself and then overeat until you feel sick. And then feel really bad about that you ate so much to the point where you felt sick, because I never did that in my life. Like if I didn't want any cake, I would stop eating the cake, right? But I couldn't control myself because my body was so undernourished. And so it became this terrible cycle. Realized I had an eating disorder. Fortunately, there was a registered dietitian on campus that was totally free for students. She was wonderful, and she helped me heal from the eating disorder. And one of the things that really helped was eating all the food groups and eating balanced meals so that my body felt nourished, so I didn't have any urge to binge eat. So I thought so many people could use this because there's like this strong diet culture. And so how can I help people like eat these meals that are really nourishing and filling, but are also healthy? Because I wanted to be healthy. So I wanted to create a plate that looked like a normal plate, but that taught those portions and those different food groups, because all of the plates that I found on the internet were like, you know, here are the portions, and it would say like carbs and it would say vegetables right on the plate. And it was so ugly and it would be embarrassing to use. So I did that. I had my future mother-in-law, who's an artist, like make a painting. Then I hired a graphic designer to design it.
I have to ask a question though. This is fun. So you asked your future mother-in-law. So when did you meet your significant other along this journey?
Yeah.
I don't want to skip that.
Yeah, it's a fun story. So I actually met him when I was in high school, but we didn't start dating until the year before my business started. So the summer before that. So we were dating for about a year then. And in a long distance relationship because we went to different schools. He went to St. Joe's in Philly. So
how'd you guys meet?
How we meet? Through friends. So I went to high school with his cousins. So I was like friends with them, and I met him whenever he was over their house or something. And we actually went on one date in high school, but it didn't go anywhere. So there was always like a little something. And then in college, I was down the shore with my friends who were his cousins, and he was there. And we just really hit it off. And he asked me on a date the next week, and the rest is history.